Happy New Year, all belatedly. 2020.
We are here.
No guts, no glory. We're back.
Yep.
Fucking back.
Better than ever.
We are better than ever, mate. We are better than ever. That's
Fucking
the
oath.
name of the game. It's just trying to fucking improve, albeit incrementally. Your tattoos have healed beautifully, by the way.
Yeah, the ends are kind of good. I actually looked after these ones. Not that I don't. Oh, there is some that I fucking forget to cream out, and then I fucking go and see Pablo, and he yells at me.
People forget the importance of it, man. Like, if you're going to get some ink, the first couple of weeks, especially, really critical.
No, they've come up
and what's
good,
this
though.
got to do with what we're doing? It doesn't really, not a great deal, but I think, but it's important.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, having had a couple of tattoos myself, I can vouch for the importance of maintenance and looking after and all that kind of stuff. We should get my wife, who's a dermal clinician, to come in and talk about how to look after your skin. So when you're doing all the right things,
That'd be cool.
in terms of your diet and that, you know, if nothing else, it'll make your tats look fucking
Well,
sick.
that's it. And I'm sure, there's a lot of the industry that's covered in fucking tats that I'm sure doesn't fucking look after them.
Totally. So anyway, it's really good to be back. We've had a bit of a long break, but I had just between you and me and the 3 subscribers, had a really challenging late last year. It was Christmas. Christmas for me has been a time that I never really got down with it, you know, and because it, you know, reminds people of what they lack, and you know, and for some people, there seems to be a lot of cynicism around it. But I'll tell you one big lesson I got out of it, mate, and that is that I think a lot of that feeling was created by myself through my own story around it. I didn't help my own cause, you know, and that's not to say that, you know, people don't feel good at Christmas. Some people generally have fucking reason not to feel good and have situations that are really shit.
Definitely.
And I look at my situation on paper, it's like, fuck, what am I feeling so shit? Like, why do I continue on this narrative of, oh, you know, it's a shit time of year and I'm not going to get involved. I'm just going to and anyway, it was just a realization for me, dude, that it's okay not to feel good, but in my case, I realized that quite a lot of it was kind of my own story.
And your own narrative that you had.
And I didn't help my own cause. So I'm really looking forward to next year because I think I'm going to approach it with a different attitude.
Cool.
So I just
Good to hear.
Sorry?
Good to hear.
Yeah, man. So I just thought I'd share that because a lot of people who go through situations and they feel bad, and that's okay. Feel bad is all good, but being honest with yourself is a real motherfucker at times. To really self-assess, get your ego out of the way, and just look at something. Try to look at it as an observer, and put it on paper, and just go right, like what is actually going on? What is this?
Yep.
You know,
have I created some of this situation in my head? Is this me fucking acting out some sort of fucking narrative for a cause or what? Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. So I've never been one for New Year's resolutions. I think, again, intention's always good. I think we know statistically maybe 90% of people after the first month don't completely get rid of things. But I did go through a list of some things this year, and obviously our podcast will grow and we'll just kind of grow organically, and it'll do its thing. If nothing else, as we've always said, we just do this because it's just a good excuse to hang out and talk shit.
100%.
There's nothing else, and that is enough for me. The rest is just gravy. But thinking about how this year I really want to put more emphasis on mentoring and be looking at, you know, finding some other people who I've been following who I think are stars. You know, it's like, you know, you have been a fucking joy to mentor because you do the work and it's easy. So, you know, sometimes you got to maybe give people a little bit of a push every now and again, or have to have a hard conversation. But for me, I think it's finding the people that want to help themselves. You get so much more out of people like that, and you are one of them.
Definitely.
And there's a handful of others. But I've been watching some people of late, and so I just been reaching out to them and saying, listen, how would you feel about me availing myself? Nothing particularly formal about the arrangement,
Cool.
other than that it's just me saying, hey,
I think that's a cool way of doing it, because I was about to ask how you go through that process, because obviously it's similar to, I mean, there is parallels between finding clients. Like there's a difference between finding good clients you want to work with and fucking shit clients. And
Yeah.
a lot of that stems back to how you actually go about your fucking client outreach, where you're fucking advertising, what all of that dictates the people you're talking to. So by finding, like if your intent is to go out and find some fucking self-driven people out there, I was going to say, like, what are your... how do you distinguish that between the people who see an ad and go, fuck, yeah, why don't you mentor me? But I think by you identifying that and having your finger in the pulse and just seeing what the fuck is up and then reaching out to them, I think that's a great way to curate it.
Yeah, because for one, like you were one of 5 from 678 people that hit me up, right? So... And that got whittled down to. Now, having said that, the majority of them were because the process is I'm looking for people, and there was a process, and a lot of people didn't even follow what I asked them to do. The simple fact of this is the process, this is what you need. So as soon as immediately they just didn't do. If, for example, I'd say, "Don't ring me, email me."
Yep.
And people would ring me.
Yep.
You're out.
It's remarkable, isn't it, that how it happens?
So if you can't follow the most simple of instructions, and then of course there's all these other factors, but I think by doing it the way I've done what I've been doing, by watching people from a distance, for one, they're not aware that I'm looking.
Yes.
So they don't have to try and impress me.
Yep, they're not going to change their actions because they think someone's watching, and they're going to do what they think you want to see.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And you could just, I don't know, I think intuitively you can just tell. Look, all I really look for in anyone is just people that are prepared to work hard and just be consistent.
Yep.
And that is something that you can only see over a period of time.
Yep.
Right. So when I see that, then it's easy, and then after that, it just comes down to okay, well, you put it out there, and it's all again, it's because I love to do it, man. It's as simple as that. I mean,
and you're good at it, man.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks. I mean, yes, there is a part of what I do that is like last year. I've had a program where people do pay for it, because I also believe sometimes when you if you don't pay, you don't pay attention.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So there's another process of it, but that's a kind of different. That's a more structured 3-week thing, and I've had 2 or 3 of them now, and they've been great, and they've created a different thing where people from different areas get together who that probably normally wouldn't have, and people find that hey, there's similar kind of situations going on and issues and challenges and. So I'll be putting something like that together again this year. But the other thing is just more, it's a little bit more personal, and it's just a bit more of a direct line, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
But no, I love doing it, man, and I love it because I attribute having been mentored, and still to this day there are people who I know I still can. Even though I'm a quote-unquote veteran or experienced person, there are other guys out there. And one example, a guy called Dave Collins who, shout out to Dave, who, if you look up Dave Collins Mastery in Los Angeles, he's just an absolute living legend of the game. And when I first approached Dave in 95, I think, and I hit him up at an email, and I'm thinking, oh, fuck, what's this guy, will he... Again, I had the same fears and concerns.
Yeah. Is he even going to fucking open this? Or, I'm probably not going to get a reply.
And the guy was fucking amazing and so gracious, and we've never met in person yet, but now we're really good mates. But I still call Dave every now and again just for confirmation or and whatever. So, but when I was younger, man, again, just to have people took me under their wing, and never forgot that, dude. Never forgot that, because to have. For a young person particularly, the greatest thing you can give them is the genuine, sincere feeling that you believe in them.
Yep.
When they know that when they know you believe,
100%. And I think it's fucking like one of the great things is that you haven't let go of that. Like the fact that you had that when you were coming up and people fucking helped you out, here and over in fucking New York. For you then to come all this full circle to be where you are now and still remember and recognize that, fuck, now I can give that back to other people. Because I think a lot of people get to that point where they definitely have the opportunity to fucking, whether it's making someone's day or making someone's year by fucking replying to an email or catching up with them in person. Like a lot of the, big artists and big dudes in the industry kind of forget how influential and how many people fucking generally look up to them. So, when you do take on people to mentor, like as I've told you fucking many times, when I got that call from you just saying that, you were backing me in, fucking let's do this, to me it's like, fuck, it's just having that person in the corner is enough for you to go, fuck man, let's keep rolling with this. Let's keep pushing. Because, in any industry where you make your own job, any creative industry where it's not just a fucking apply for a job and you get it, you get a phone call, yeah, you're in. Anywhere where you got to really make your own job, there's going to be times when it's hard. Shit gets fucking hard, hours get long, fucking times get lonely, money gets fucking low. And so just by having that person in the corner just going, fuck man, like, you are onto a good thing here. We are on track.
Yeah.
That's sometimes all you need to fucking keep going.
Without question. Without question. And I know, and I remember that feeling, what that's like too. So I think like with anything, man, when you've experiencing highs and success is great, but it's the shit times you've been through and the self-doubt and the concern and the anxiety and all that. So when someone comes up to you and they tell you something, you know, and to be honest enough with them to say, because sometimes people can perceive you in a way because you are, in their eyes, quote unquote successful.
Yep.
They see a studio, they see a reputation, they see
the surface, they see the tip of the iceberg.
And that's all good and that's all great. But how many people are? I think as I've gotten older, I've become more prepared to be, whether it's vulnerable, open, honest, to share more of the shit and more of the failings, not to put myself down or not to. I don't think it. People sometimes think, just in a general sense, when people open up too much, people worry about their branding.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And how things look, and I don't really. When I say I don't concern about how I look, of course I'm concerned. I feel I've got some level of dignity about me and self-worth, but by the same token, I also know that I'm human. I also know that to be constantly always showing the good stuff and the gloss and the glitter, after a while people are going to realise you're full of shit.
Yeah, correct. But there's another point in that, but that's definitely 100%. And I've even noticed in the last 12 months and with the people that I've been around and surrounding myself with, there has been a noticeable change in that. We had a producer who was out of here who passed away last year, so a lot of the guys, that brought us a lot closer. And it made like stuff like that. Sometimes you go, okay, fuck, it's okay to, be vulnerable and talk about these things. So, that's one of the positives is we do have this fucking really open, expression of fucking love for each other because we're like, man, we appreciate everyone here, which is just great. But another part of that is I think you're a lot more okay to tell people about your fucking quote unquote fuck ups or your downfalls or the stuff that most people want to hide in the dark.
Yeah.
You're usually okay to fucking let that out of the closet and tell people if you don't value what they're going to think. It's when people go, they don't hold stuff back because they're like, fuck, I'm going to tell this person this. They're going to think of me that way. And to me, their opinion is more important than mine. And that's when people let external opinions and influences get into their own head and fuck their own shit up. Yeah. When I guess going through this fucking journey, you've got to a point and I know I'm starting to feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm almost fucking truly happy and fucking confident in myself and what I'm doing and all these extra things where it's like I just value my own opinion over myself more than others. I care what other people think of me, to a degree, but I'm not going to fucking change my actions to dictate that. And I'm also not going to let that fucking influence my life because I also know they don't know everything, you know. They only know the fucking window they've known me, They don't know everything. Yeah. So you just can't let fucking what other people think dictate your life. And I think once people are really okay with that and really value their opinion of themselves more than others, then it's a lot easier to fucking admit, hey man, look, I fucked this up. Yeah. It's like, it's cool because I did it. I know I did it, may as well, I did it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I believe in this thing. I've said it many times, I'll say it again and no doubt I will, and that is that I'm becoming less and less concerned with what people think of me per se, whether it's personally or as an engineer or what have you, because of maybe they have a subjective tasting or it's their own shit. That's out of my control. What I concern myself with more, and I think what all of us should concern ourselves with, is let's not allow people to have a justified reason to say, and I've fucked up in that respect too, and I've made my errors and whatnot. But you know, it's when someone, and here's the thing: if someone goes around town and says, well, you know, Bennett Ferguson's a fucking cunt. Well, if people want to decide to go with that person, then go. You know, you don't need them.
Yeah,
you really don't need them.
Yep.
You know, but to go around and say Ben Ferguson is a cunt because
of this specific
and it's like, you know, here's a list of Me Too shit or
now there's
or
a paper trail.
Then it's on you.
Yep. Then that's no longer subjective. There is now a fucking paper trail behind it.
Yeah, particularly if it's, you know, when we're talking about repeat offences and
100%,
or just different. It's all under the dodgy umbrella.
Yes.
And you know, I've met people like that in the past. It's one of the great mysteries of life to me is how is it that some people still somehow seem to resurface, but.
Oh, and fucking in the music game, I tell you, I do wonder that question as well. But hey, they do, and it's also I'm at a point where you're like, fuck, dude, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
I don't lose, but I find it interesting. But then again, you know, they say there's a sucker born every minute, and there are some people that people are good at being able to continually find, you know, low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know, as it were. But look, man, the point is no one's perfect, but. So long as you don't give people a justified reason and you know, and just be a repeat offender.
Because and it's at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, as we fucking say all the time. Like, you know, I was talking about this with someone else, like an artist, a couple of weeks ago. Like, if your actions speak something, you can almost say the exact fucking opposite. Like, I could. There was with ours, I could almost walk into a room and be like, you know what, I don't care about this project, and you know, I just couldn't give two shits, and they'd almost laugh because they're like, my actions say completely otherwise.
Yeah.
So when you're really doing, like, your actions fucking, and you can tell what people's intents are behind their actions.
Yeah.
You know, if they're constantly got to explain why they let you down or why it didn't go this way, if they've got to constantly use words to justify their actions, I'd take a deep look at their actions and what it's really telling you.
Yeah, most definitely. So, just on a bit of a tangent, I was delighted to hear that you're going to America soon and do a bit of tour managing.
Yeah,
what's going on there, buddy?
Back over to the States again.
Yeah. So where are you going and who are you going with and how did it all come about?
Between You and Me is the band, so not just Between You and Me, but the band Between You and Me.
Yep. Well, who are those guys? I know of them. So tell me a little bit about them. They sound familiar. I don't know whether I don't even know if I've even worked with. I may have. I don't know, but there's something. So the name just sounds familiar, but I'm not saying that I have. Anyway, tell me about it.
They're a pop punk band from Melbourne. They're signed to Hopeless Records in the States, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, fucking independent pop punk label fucking out there.
Great.
Been around for 25 years, fucking All Time Low, Newfound Glory, Sum 41.
Right. Okay.
So they're one of two Australian bands on there. I believe there might be more. Might have fucked that up. But Stand Atlantic are also on them. And basically we had Bassie on the podcast here, the bass player. That's where his nickname Bassie came from.
Wow.
Oh, funnily. Actually, you were on the podcast with him. The two of you were on.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay,
so
cool.
we did a podcast with him solo before yours.
Yeah, right.
And then we did a live session with another one of his bands in there. And I was just kind of talking to him. I was like, you know, fuck, getting into TMing is something I want to do down the track. You know, I reckon I can be fucking good at it. Organising shit and organising people is something that comes kind of naturally to me. Yeah. And then I saw him at a gig another couple of weeks ago, and we were just fucking talking, and they had this tour coming up, and we were just talking about his last tour because it looked fucking sick, and I was just watching this and like, fuck, these guys are just doing it fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then, gave me a buzz on Friday. He's like, fuck, man, we don't have a TM for this tour. You know, if you want to fucking come along and...
TM, by the way, sorry, TM for tour manager.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Yep. So that kicks off 28th of Feb. And I think they're playing in like 25 dates in 30 days or something. It's pretty much a whole fucking lap of America. Yeah. So, going from like Ohio, So up the top, kind of fucking Midwest, then to the East Coast, New York, down through Florida, then fucking Texas, fucking up through LA. So it's pretty much a full circuit.
You guys going to Austin?
Yeah, there's 2 dates in Texas.
Do you know whereabouts in Texas? You don't?
I can check.
Because if you do go to Austin, there's a couple of people I want to hook you up with.
Dope, definitely, yeah.
When you get over there. So, all right. So for someone like me that doesn't fully, I've got a rough gist of what tour managing is. So, and maybe it's probably tour specific, but. So all the dates are booked, but you're on the road basically just making sure that everyone gets the gigs.
So you're basically fucking tour dad. So make sure that everyone gets to the fucking show, that no one does anything that they fucking shouldn't. Everyone stays out of fucking jail, more or less. That fucking, I'll liaise all with the sound check guys, so I'll know all of their fucking all of their set specs, everything that needs to be done. Right. I can just roll in and liaise with the fucking sound tech, make sure that it's fucking sweet, talk with the front of house dudes, make sure everything's fucking cool. Basically do everything to make sure that the band can just be the band and concentrate on what they need to do.
Yeah. Do you also liaise anything that when it comes to the PR, radio, media? That's all label.
That's all. Yep.
All over there. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So everything's booked. You're just making sure that while they're on the road, they're behaving. They get to where they need to get.
Yep. That things go smoothly.
Everything's working.
Yep.
Everything that is relating directly with the gig itself. The sound, ahead, lighting people.
That everything's good, that they all know their role.
Everything's working.
That if there's if a guitar gets lost in fucking transit, we need to get one in the next fucking city, making sure that the sound tech guys got all the fucking run sheets before the show, all that sort of stuff.
That's cool, man.
So it'll be good.
Such a great experience for you to go away and be on the road. It's I've never actually been on tour with a band, although I think I can see how it can get grinding, especially when it comes to long. But that's really, let's face it, man. In this day and age, that's where any earning potential is going to be. I mean, you got it. But even back in the day when people think that there was a golden era. Because of physical sales, but people forget though that the bands that broke, the great Australian bands that broke internationally, your bands like AC/DC and INXS and Midnight Oil, who really cracked it, only did so because they just relentlessly toured locally, but overseas.
And the term relentlessly, especially with some of those bands, is not even doesn't scratch the surface of how hard they went. Yeah. Like there's a dope fucking documentary on the Elbert Brothers studio where fucking AC/DC and everything came out of in Sydney. Yep. And it talks about them fucking when they'd already blown the Australian market out of the fucking water, trying to crack the US. And Angels and a few other bands had fucking tried. Basically AC/DC went over there and for fucking a year cut laps playing fucking 2 to 4 shows a day. Everywhere driving, that's Highway to Hell was fucking driving down the fucking highway, and these guys were huge here. These are fucking rock stars we're talking about. Going to America, playing at a fucking pub. They'd play fucking 2 sets. First set, there'd be no one there. It'd be the fucking bartender and his fucking dog. Then they'd play that set as fucking hard as they can go. In the intermission, that bartender would fucking go out to the payphone on the road and would call all of his fucking friends and go, dude, you need to get down here. Yeah. And the second fucking gig after the intermission would be fucking packed to the rafters. Yeah. And they did this shit for literally fucking a year and a half, 2 to 4 shows a day in the back of the fucking station wagon, drive to the next fucking town and do it again. Yeah. It is mayhem. And even that, they saw the golden age, if you want to call the fucking record sales. But people forget how good touring is these days. I mean, concert tickets go for $300 a pop these days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do. Well, I think also people forget, I mean, the average punter sort of thinks $300, but I was just talking to a friend of mine on the phone, literally on the way in, and he went and saw Elton John at Hanging Rock, and, he paid a couple $100 a ticket. And, but he was saying how the production was amazing, the sound was amazing. It was this guy was saying, he was so... The night was so special. It created a memory that will remain for him forever.
100%.
Yeah. And so, but he also went off and bought some merch and what have you. I think especially international, I mean, the cost of transporting stuff, there's legals, there's so much stuff behind the scenes that people aren't aware of.
Minimum of 10, I can tell everyone listening, is a minimum of 10 grand to get a fucking band to Australia. We're not in the middle of fucking nowhere. When you get the fucking band, crew, the instruments, visas, all that crap, it's 10 G's before you even get the band in the country.
Yeah. legals and all kinds of other.
That's if no one's got a criminal record, no one got caught fucking smoking butt over there or something.
Yeah. So I think in this day and age, I don't mind paying to go see a gig if it's going to be, because I mean, look, I guess I can appreciate what goes behind the scenes, but I think one of the other hard things about bands who, to be on the road and be away from family and friends, and you gotta perform, to be able to pull yourself up energetically and emotionally to play like your life depends on it, and how hard that is, especially when you're starting out. And even as a speaker, man, I've done gigs where no one showed, and other than my wife, Connie, I had a cameraman there to record it, and I still just did it as if I had to. It was like I just went ahead and did it. First of all, because I think it was just a character building thing, and it sucked, man. It sucked balls, but it had to be done. But I'll tell you, that day when that happened, it was at a gym. I was supposed to be talking to Jim, and that all got fucked up. But the show had to go on, and what inspired me was a band called Spy vs. Spy. I think legally they're known as V Spy vs. Spy. But they were a three-piece from the 80s, and phenomenal band, just amazing fucking band. And I remember seeing them when I was in Toronto in 1988 at a place called the Horseshoe Tavern, and this was their situation. This was like they rocked up to this pub. It was me, the sound guy, the barman, a record company person, and that was it. Now these guys played a set like I still get chills thinking about it, dude. It was the most phenomenal fucking performance I've ever seen.
No shit.
Ever.
That's fucking dope.
I've seen some amazing gigs, and I've walked away feeling like, wow, that was amazing. But dude, this gig, there may as well have been 300,000 fucking people in just with the energy and what and I'm just.
That's sick.
It was like surreal, dude. I'm just like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe what I'm fucking seeing.
Yep. It sticks with you. And then look at this, fucking 30 years later, we're fucking telling the story.
And as I said, I still,
that's awesome.
When I sort of go back to it, man. But that's hard. That takes a lot of fortitude. That takes a lot of character. It takes a lot of self-belief. And especially, you're in a foreign place and you got no money and you're hungry or you're cold, you're missing your girlfriend, you're missing your family.
Yep.
You're questioning
the guitarist
yourself.
might have got fucking too drunk at the show last night and fucked it up, and you had a fucking fight after the set.
Yeah,
these things happen.
What the fuck am I doing here? And to pull yourself up and to mentally go through that. And this is why, as I say, cream rises and shit stinks.
Yeah, that they do.
and that'll never change. So, and I guess this is why it's important, whatever we undertake as musicians, as engineers, as creatives, if we don't really love it, man, if we really, if we can't imagine the world without doing it, like, this is why I tell people, should I be doing this or what should I be doing? And one litmus test question for me that I ask is, whatever it is that they're questioning is, would you do this job or would you pursue this if money wasn't an issue or bills weren't an issue or whatever? What would you do? If you won the lottery and you had no stresses going, would you still want to do this? Would you still pursue it? Would you still take it on and want to learn and go deep on it? If you can honestly say yes, you would, then that's what you should be doing.
Definitely, and I think, and it's not a fucking instantaneous thing that's a kind of, to really, I guess, grasp. I'm only starting to feel like I'm truly in a position where I can honestly answer that now, and this is fucking 10 years fucking in for me. Yeah. But I can tell you the rewards, and you've experienced this firsthand, I'm sure. The rewards that come from it in terms of actually being fucking happy with your life is like, that's what it's working for. That's what comes out of it. But you can't bullshit. Like, it has to be, is this what I really want? Like, am I doing this for the right reason? Am I doing this for the wrong reasons? Do I want to be a fucking guitarist or do I want to be a rock star just to fucking stick it to that chick in high school? Or what is there some underlying, or is it, or is it really what you just fucking want to do? And I think once you can kind of hone out, get rid of all the other bullshit, and you end up at a place that is somewhere near your calling or something that's, you know, where you can align what you love doing with fucking the financial structure to mean you can actually pay rent off it.
Yeah.
Like, then you start feeling fucking happy.
Yeah. And another way of knowing it is that you'll do it regardless of whether you're ill or you're tired or because you're out of the picture. And it's like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? It's because in my case, I'll go and do a talk, or it doesn't matter where it is or how many people, because it's for the kids, you know, or whoever's coming along, or, you know, I'm going to do this record if I'm feeling a certain way because, you know, I'm just. Is that the time for the battery?
That's one, but we've still got another one going.
All right. We'll wind up pretty soon.
We'll wind it up.
We'll pretty soon.
This one's going pretty good.
But it's when you can go through something through hardship and you'll still go through regardless, then you know you're on the right track. Yep. Whatever it is that you're doing, whether you want to be a florist or a fucking rock star. You know?
Definitely. And it's through those hardships that you actually grow to the person that you envision yourself being. Yeah. Like, it's kind of like we go to the gym to fucking tear the muscles to build them up. Yeah. Like, a lot of people don't want to fucking look at the darkness in them by exposing that and fucking going through that confrontation and fucking embracing that adversity. You actually become the person you thought you were. Yeah. Because we're not there yet, otherwise we'd be there. Yeah. So, like, to go on this journey, you've got to fucking get torn down every now and then. It's not in a bad way. It's purely to get rebuilt into the person that you need to be to achieve the things you want to achieve.
I think that's a lovely way to wind it up there, buddy. You're
awesome.
You're a wise fucker.
Well, I've learned from the best, my friend.
Well, you've got a lot of good teachers too, man. I think we all, and I thank you, mate, for saying that. I really appreciate it. I think we all are a sum of the collective, and there are some people that probably have a little bit more impact and have a bit more influence, but I truly believe that everyone's our teacher, and sometimes these people don't realise that they're being our teachers, and it's not always about how to do things. Sometimes it's also about how not to do things.
Correct.
And you just watch it from a distance, go, ooh. Yeah, I won't do that.
Yep.
And you just mental no.
Put that on. Yep, correct.
That person or those people actually have contributed to your life in a way that you may have avoided something quite catastrophic.
Yep.
So
definitely
never forget that. Yeah. Anyway, mate, I appreciate that. I love you, Ben. This podcast is so much fun.
Man, it's awesome.
It's so good to be back. And
it's good to have you back. 2020's here.
Feeling good. So we'll bang. We'll get busy between now and the time you're off. So. We'll keep it rolling, man. But and thank you again to everyone who, those who have subscribed and who watch and who follow us. And we're in our infancy and we're growing. But this is fun to do. It's always very enjoyable. So thank you. And I'm going to send a shout out to, I don't know if it'll get there, but my man Joey Diaz, who is of late, his podcast. I don't know if you haven't seen the Church of What's Happening Now, I strongly suggest you guys check it out. Joey, I've never met Joey. We've had minimal interaction on Messenger, but I consider him a bit of a mentor. Again, a guy who's honest and puts it out there and shares knowledge and drops science. And I hope one day to have the opportunity to have a chat with him and do a podcast with him. That's a bucket list thing, which we'll work towards. But check it out. If you want to watch and listen to a guy who is a mentor to the world, particularly amongst comedians, especially, but even if you're not a comedian, it doesn't matter what you are, man. I mean, what he puts out there. So the shout out to Joey and his podcast actually inspired this, because he does his thing with his boy Lee, and that's why I thought, you know what, it's great to, have this contrast of an older cat and a younger cat, talking from different perspectives and what they're doing. So thank you, Joey, for being such an influence. Love you, buddy, and we'll talk to people very soon.
Done. We're awesome.
Well, thank you, mate. Thank you, everyone. As we always say, please be nice to each other, but be nice to yourselves. We love you. Have a great 2020, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
See ya.